This was definitely one of the worst Monday Night Raws I've seen. It was completely filler. Nothing important really happened. And yes, you can say the Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn was important. That was bullshit. And I will dive into it on why. Let's dive into it. Let's talk about the first opening scene, right? We get Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman out in the ring. They're basically catching up. They're saying, we are the future of this business. We are this, which I'm happy about. I like this group, right? I think there should be another guy that they should recruit. So while I'm thinking this, of course, I hear fucking Sami Zayn come out. Sami Zayn. And I don't know if I've talked much about Sami Zayn, but I'm not a huge Sami Zayn fan. I think he's just given opportunity after opportunity, and I don't know any other superstar besides Jey Uso that is constantly given opportunities such as Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn comes out. He basically cuts one of his Sami Zayn promos, right? He's a good guy. Oh, you're a bad guy. You're just doing what this guy does. You're doing what Roman Reigns does. And this promo alone was not a copycat of Jey Uso's, but it's basically the same thing, right? When Jey Uso, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Solo Sikoa was the tribal leader or whatever the fuck it's called, the tribal chief, and he brought in Jacob Fatu. And at the time, Jacob Fatu, everyone didn't want him to join back because he went to jail or some shit. Like, Jey Uso was like, you know why we didn't bring up Jacob Fatu? And if he keeps staring at me, I'm going to beat his ass right now. That's basically what Sami Zayn said. The same shit. No originality. Word for word. Basically the same thing Jey Uso said. So, in my head, I'm like, when he said that, I'm like, bro, Jey Uso literally said the same shit, word for word. Change the writing style. Go to ChatGPT and say, reword this. Sami Zayn could have said that. But no, he wants to say the same thing Jey Uso says. Fine. So basically, they give him an offer to join their crew, I guess, but he would be put to Smackdown, and he will have an opportunity for the WWE Championship after the first match, which is a pretty good offer. I mean, I think anyone would accept that offer. But later in the show, Sami Zayn basically says, I want to do things the right way. No, I'm not going to do that. I reject your offer, blah, blah, blah. Then he gets his ass beat by Braun Breaker. Okay, that's basically the main story towards this Raw. If I was in charge of this Monday Night Raw, I would have had someone like an Austin Theory or, I don't know, some guy who's not usually on the show, right? I feel like it would have been more of a surprise. Just seeing Sami Zayn there, I'm like, Sami Zayn's basically in every fucking storyline. Whenever he's actually on the show, he's basically in every storyline. I don't understand why we constantly have to give this guy opportunities, man. He's just not it. Right, we have guys in NXT that are better than Sami Zayn. You know, it's like instead of them going into the ring and having this promo against Seth Rollins, show a backstage segment of them trying to recruit different talent, right? Like, have them talk to Austin Theory, have them talk to Grayson Waller, have Paul Heyman plant seeds between Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Like, it's that simple. And then you have two storylines you can tell, right? You can have Austin Theory turning face, right? Grayson Waller turning heel. That's already happening, but there's no real storyline to it, right? That's where you can create a story. Paul Heyman recruiting Grayson Waller, and then you can have another story of Austin Theory being alone, finally finding himself and becoming a top guy, right? That's another story you can tell on its own, right? Grayson Waller leaving Austin Theory, them having a little turmoil, right? Grayson Waller and Austin Theory have a feud, right? But Grayson Waller wins that feud because he has the backing of Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker. That's an easy story you can tell right there. You know, and it would make sense of them splitting up because they need to get split up. They're not doing anything together, right? You got to make them split up, and then you're going to create two stars right there. You know, I don't understand why we're waiting. The more you wait, the less value they're going to have. The less value the story is going to tell. Because every week, everyone's just going to forget. I think most people forget. A lot of people have forgotten that Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are even on the show. I'm not going to lie. I forgot. I saw them pop up for a promo appearance. This was during commercials, so I don't think most people saw it. But that's when you see them, on commercials. You know? So, yes, those are my thoughts just in general. I'm done talking about this segment. Let's dive into the rest of the show. Now, next we have Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez, and all around it was a decent match. Gilia from NXT comes out and interrupts their match, so it was a disqualification. But at the end we have, what's her name? Gilia and Roxanne just jumping on, what's her name? Fucking Rhea Ripley. Bro, this was just boring. This was just completely boring. There's no reasoning on why these NXT girls are even on the show. We have so many women on this division, so many women on this roster, on the main roster, that aren't getting any screen time. But we're going to bring in people from a different company, not a different company, but a different brand, basically, that are going to steal your TV time. And it really meaning nothing. There's no storyline towards this. There's no storyline. Nothing. No promo work. There's nothing I've heard that any of these girls had something to say. Nothing. I don't know why they're fighting. I really don't. I mean, if they're going to bring the women's division, you might as well bring all of NXT out. That would make the show more interesting, right? If you had a Trick Williams come out and Obafemi come out of nowhere, that's cool then, right? But this wasn't randomized, right? There was literally a match between Roxanne and Rhea. Then Gilead comes out. And we still don't know why. When there's other women that need TV time, it just, to me, it just feels off. To me, I just don't understand it. Like, if they were telling a story, then I understand. But they're not telling any story. It's not like Gilead can go on the mic and cut off some great promo. Later on in the show, we have Logan Paul come out, cuts a promo, basically talking shit on Jey Uso. Jey Uso comes out. Jey Uso has a few words to say to Logan Paul. I watched Gunther beat my brother into a bloody pope, so that awakened a Jey Uso that would never lose his title. That's basically all he said, man. I'm sick and tired of this. It doesn't even feel like he's the world champion, bro. It really does not. But he is. And, yeah, that's basically what he says. I'm rooting for Logan Paul, but Logan Paul is definitely not going to win this match whenever it happens. I'm not a huge fan of Logan Paul. I mean, I think Logan Paul is pretty good on the mic. I think a lot of people overrate him on the mic. I think he's great in the ring. I think he's great as a heel. So, overall, he would be a solid champion, okay? He's great in the ring. He's decent on the mic. That's all you need. If you're bad in the ring, bad on the mic, like Jey Uso is, it's really tough to watch. It's hard to watch, man. Now, with him being champion, I don't want a long-ass reign. I just want 2 to 3 months max, Have a Damian Priest-like championship reign, where it was entertaining because he had many of matches, and he only had it for the max, I'm pretty sure, 3 months. That's the type of title reign I want from Jey Uso. Now, back to the Logan Paul and Jey Uso segment. It basically ends with Jey Uso super kicking Logan Paul, and that's how we end it. Next, we have War Raiders versus the Judgment Day and New Day's on commentary. Pretty funny, but at the end, War Raiders did win, and that's about it. Now let's talk about the Women's IC Championship. Laura Valkyria has that title, and it's amazing. She's finally about to have her first fucking feud in about 5 months. It's actually crazy to see. And I'm happy that Becky Lynch is in this mid-card division because we need someone to elevate it, right? Especially in the men's division too. I'm pretty sure that Drew McIntyre is now in the United States running. LA Knight is there. Jacob Fatu. That's what we need from our mid-card division. We need names. We need people to spice it up. Now, I'm pretty sure Becky Lynch and Laura are going to be fighting at Backlash. I think they're going to have Laura Valkyria retain as champion just to boost her legacy a little bit. But yeah, overall, decent segment. Not something that I would praise, but not something I'm going to hate either. And I'm not going to lie, I think right now the WWE has a problem with they have the main story, but then all of the other stories just feel like it doesn't matter, right? Or all of the other stories are just not relevant. Right? Right now we have the Seth Rollins, the new evolution, that's what I'm going to call it. We have the new evolution story, right? What other stories are there right now? That is carrying the show, but that's only shown probably, let's say, 30 minutes of 3 hours, So we have 2.5 hours of filler, 2.5 hours of storylines that aren't storylines. They're nothing. We're watching matches. We're watching backstage segments that have no value. With the Judgment Day, we see the same segment. We have seen the same segment for a year now. And we're probably going to see it for another. So that's the one problem, the major problem I have with Raw. It's hard to watch because there's just some scenes that really don't matter. There's some scenes that I don't even want to see. They have to spice things up. I can't speak for them because they're not listening to me. They're not going to hear any suggestions I have. But there's so many things that you can change about your show. There's so many things that you can make a mediocre feud feel like it matters. And I'm going to give Smackdown some credit, okay? We have the main feud with, John Cena and Randy Orton. But we also have Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu that's starting to build as well. So I'm going to actually say this. SmackDown may have a better show going forward. May have better storylines going forward. You look at the tag team division. The tag team division storylines are just way better in SmackDown. Right? Like, you look at Monday Night Raw, what storylines do we have in a tag team division? Nothing. And, I'm expecting at this point Triple H to start writing fucking stories. Now, we do have NXT later tonight. I don't know if you guys all watch it, but at least once every show, we see a scene that looks like it's from a movie. They leave the performance center, they go outside, experience life, right, and actually make scenes at random places. It feels like a fucking movie. I don't understand why the main roster can at least have one fucking backstage segment that looks different. That's not just in the same fucking bullshit clubhouse. Like, I don't know, Judgment Day can have the same fucking segments, but they can be maybe at a fucking restaurant, at a fucking hotel lobby or some shit. Like, make it feel fresh. And it's not going to be live. You can tape it before the show. This is honestly easier and way better to fill in time, right? Because for some reason they love time wasters. Every match we have like a 5-minute fucking break session where the commentary is basically saying a bunch of bullshit. You're trying to fill in gaps constantly. Why not pre-tape shit that you can put on the screen? That's engaging. That's entertaining. I just don't see Triple H really experimenting or even trying new things. Like, the first week of Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania, I felt something different, right? Seemed like he tried to do some things. But after that, the SmackDown I watched was pretty decent. I'm happy that Drew McIntyre, like I talked about earlier, that there's some big names in the Midcard division. I'm happy about that, right? The tag team division, I'm happy about that. But especially on Raw, man, this has always been a problem for me. It's just, there's always the major storyline and then no other fucking storylines, And it's just like, or the other minor storylines just don't feel like real stories, Yeah, man, that's going to be it for this video. I might cover NXT, we'll see. I'm probably just going to have another video tomorrow about the show of Raw and SmackDown altogether. I'll just talk about my theories, what I think is going to happen in the future, and what should happen. But if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.